anyone wanted to know how grippy the Hutchinson's tyres are, this is how grippy. Ollie's just put his bike up against the wall to do some measuring with his tape measure, and it is holding itself up. You've either defined gravity or they are the grippiest tyres in the world.
I knew I was made, you know, I'm more than cycling. Science is my... I did the BTEC science at school, so...
you know what you're doing?
I know what I'm doing, yeah.
That's actually pretty sick though.
How grippy are these tyres?
Yeah man, that's mental. What's up guys, good morning, what's going on? Welcome back to day number 3 and race number 2 here in Belgium. It's a local Kermesse today. We're racing in the town of Oost-Dunkerque, which is about 6k. Originally we were just going to ride out, but we figured like with our bags and phones and wallet and everything, it'd be better to take the car and leave the car there. So it's only like a 5 or 10 minute drive to the actual race today. It's basically like the next village along. But yeah, I wanted to ride, but we figured it would be better to take the van. So then we've got a bit of a base, especially like if some of us don't finish, we want to get changed or something. We don't have to stand around in our kit all day. You know, we've got the van to have it there. So we're about to set off right now. The bikes are in the cars. I think Ollie's putting in some spare wheels, and then we're going to hit the road. All right, it's made it to the race start, and we're on the bikes, cruising down to the cafe to get our numbers and to sign on. This is the finish straight right here. And that is the finish line. Not a bad day for a bike race right now. Sun's out, nice and warm, 21 degrees. This is the cool thing about these Belgian Kermesses, man. Like the whole village just gets behind it and everyone comes out for the racing. But anyway, we signed on, number 14 today. We got a frame number and a number for the jersey. Decent prize money for this race as well. You get your entry back, like your 10 euros entry back down to 30th place. And then I think the winner gets like 150, and every lap, first and second preems respectively get 30 euros and 20 euros. So yeah, plenty of prize money on offer today. Let's try and win some of it. So Ollie's the only one of us 3 that's done this race before. So mate, what's the circuit like from what you remember?
Yeah, it's good. I did it with, I was back with my old team.
Yeah.
What's their names? And it was good. We missed a group of 15 that went up the road, but it was
Is it a technical course or what?
Yeah, quite technical. Yeah, it was good. It was good fun. You know, it's a good circuit. I think it suits everyone apart from Will, actually.
It's a similar kind of format to yesterday's race. That is today, in that it's a similar length. It's around 115k I think today, but there's slightly more laps. It's a shorter circuit of 7k, so it's 16 laps of like a 7.3k circuit. But I think the field is more like 40 or 50 today, as opposed to over 100, which was what was yesterday. Oh, the roads are officially closed. We're trapped in. It's race time. All right, guys. So we're just out currently we've got a bit of time. We're doing a recce of the course, and this is basically it. Like it's just weaving in and out of different little housing estates. You know, there's a couple of little climbs. It's a little bit different to like your generic windy open fields of the Belgian Kermesse. So it should be an exciting race to do. I'm looking forward to it. It's pretty damn windy today, so no doubt there's going to be some echelons and some carnage in the crosswind. So yeah, my plan personally is to do more than I did yesterday, which is 30 minutes, and we'll see how we go. One thing that's completely different like between UK racing and Belgian racing is just like how chilled everyone is before the start. And I mean, the race it's 2:45 right now. The race starts at 3, and like no one's at the start line. Like it's just empty at the minute, and you know, oh, his man's taking pictures of me. It's 15 minutes before the start, and everyone just rocks up like 5 minutes before. I mean, we turned up to the race today an hour before. We turned up at 2 p.m. and we were like one of the first people here. It's mental, like the difference between UK and Belgian racing. But anyway, 15 minutes to go. About time we got our heads in the game and did a bike race. Yeah, give me a whoop 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 whoop. See you in a bit. Alright guys, so this is the Oost-Dunkerque Kermesse, race number 2 here in Belgium for us boys, and yeah, I'm gonna jump straight into it. These guys with the green in front of me, as you can see, with the red and black shorts, you'll notice throughout this GoPro footage there is probably about, I reckon about 12 of these guys in the race, and that is because this is like their local town where the sponsors are from, or the team is based. I'm not too sure exactly on the specifics of it, but basically it's their home race, so they put in a strong field of riders because they wanted to win it. You know, it's their home race. They wanted to look good for the sponsors and all the usual kind of stuff. So as you can imagine, they were lightening it up from the first lap. I mean, we've literally done 1 minute and 12 seconds here, and the first attacks have gone. They've got a couple of guys up the road. Will tries to bridge across, and I tried to get on the back of this next guy who is who's getting across the Will. So yeah, you're going to notice there's going to be constant attacks. It's going to be going from, it's gone from the gun. There's still one rider in green up ahead. You can just about see him in the video. There we go. We've got some power now. We're just freewheeling now into this corner. You've got my heart rate there on the left. I'm already at 173, and we're less than 2 minutes into the race. There's another one of the green riders. I should know the team name, shouldn't I? But for the sake of this video, they're going to be the green team. So I see this guy sort of winding up on the left. So I go into this corner, and it's a pretty sharp corner. I'm thinking he's coming in hot. He's coming real hot, and then there we go, boosh. Nearly takes me out first lap. If he'd have swung his back wheel, if his back wheel had slid a bit more and he'd have like corrected it and come left, and he would have gone straight into me and took me out. But luckily he didn't. Anyway, I decided to keep the effort going, just because so my thinking here was, it was kicking off like hell behind. Everyone's attacking, everyone's keen. This green team want to get away up the road. So I'm thinking, if I can get a gap, and if they can ease off and I can get a gap on my own solo, the race comes to me. So they're all attacking, they're all kicking the SH1T out of each other. But if I'm ahead of that, I can kind of avoid all of that. So as you can see, I'm pressing on here. I'm doing 450, 400 watts. So I'm going pretty hard, but I'm not like, it's not like a full out attack. You know, I'm trying to sustain and conserve my effort. I just want to have a gap. So then, you know, but hopefully my thinking was late, you know, sometime down the line, the guys will come across to me, which will be like the front group, and the attacking will have like eased off a little bit. But yeah, man, it was just real fast racing, and that wasn't going to happen. So I mean, I've been out here for about a minute. I'm thinking this is quite hard. This is quite hard. And then suddenly, well, the two guys come across me, I think. But I'm gonna let the GoPro footage play out so you can see for yourselves how it goes down. I'm actually out here for a bit of time, a bit longer than I thought. As you can see, I think I looked behind me there and saw the guys coming back. So you saw my power drop. There we go. So these two guys, had I been on my best form, I would have jumped onto that guy's wheel. But still coming back from this illness, still haven't got my race legs, and jumping with this attack. There, finally now, a few more guys comes, and Will straight away will counter. So we know that we've got to be aggressive in this race. We've got to be on the front foot, because soon as 3 or 4 of the green team, as soon as they get away on their own or with one other rider, because they've got that many riders in this group, they're just going to shut the road. You'll see the roads get narrower, so they've got the ability to just line the road, sit up, let the brake go, and that's it, job done. There's no other team with that amount of riders, so there's no other team that's really strong enough to do the bit to you know, rip the race apart. It was those guys. So when those guys were going, we had to go. So now, as you can see, there's just constant attacks, man. Look at the guys going up the left hand side. Now these guys on the right start to jump, so then I decide to go. There's Ollie. Will's already up the road. There's probably a group of about 4 or 5 right now. So you're always, and look, we're not even 5 minutes into this race, man. We're not even 5 minutes into this race. So you've always got to be on the front foot. You've always got to be attentive. It's a lot. Look at this, man. It's just lined out. Like, I'm not even at the back of the group. There's about 50 guys started today. This is one of the little rises, one of the little climbs, which in itself is nothing, but you know, after a few laps, it certainly starts to bite a little bit, and you certainly start to notice it. So yeah, here we go, just skipping ahead to another minute and a half. It's all sort of bunched up again. It's almost neutralized. There's one guy that's gone off the front, but you know, for the most part, it's neutralized. There's the Belgium champ on the left hand side. So there were some solid riders. There's a Team Novo Nordisk on the right hand side. They had a few guys in this race. So you know, solid riders. This guy jumps up the left, and then it's boom time. Hasta la vista, baby. Let's go. So as you can see, like, from there being no break, from there being no group, suddenly there's a group here of what, 8 riders, including Oliver. it's just constant, man. So I decided to quit. Just another guy, mate. I'm trying to explain what's going on, but even watching back, I'm thinking, Jesus, this is just constant. This is just constant. You'd have an attack, the group would catch you, and then there'll just be people countering, constant counter attacks. There's even a group in front of us now. There's even a group in front of us, which it all comes back together eventually. But this is what I'm talking about. You've always got to be attentive. That guy again, like if I'd have been fit, I'd have jumped with that guy on the left and also that guy on the right. Like I know that attack's coming, and I should have reacted and gone straight away rather than chancing it and waiting for this guy here in the orange and black to shut the gap, because for all I know, he's not going to close the gap, and then I would have been out the back of the race. So if you've got the legs to jump first, it's always better, because again, you're ahead of the race and the guys behind you've got to chase you back and they've got to bring you back in. But yeah, I guess that's just testament to my current form of fitness. Like, look at my heart rate there, man, 192, and we've done 8 minutes. We've done 8 minutes. This is what I love Belgium racing, because it's just so full gas. Like there's no prisoners are taken. You just like, it's just, yeah, man, look at it. It's mental. So it's lined out right now. We're doing 500-600 watts. We're just coming around for one lap, and after all of that carnage, there's no breakaway. So had I been sat at the back of the bunch, I could have avoided all of those attacks, avoided all of the effort and the batterings. But you never know with these races. That could have been the race done and dusted in the first lap. So yeah, at the minute I'm trying to hold myself at the front of the bunch. We've got, probably 8 to 10 riders in front of me, so I'm kind of perfect position to see what's going on in front, and you're also too far back for people to attack from the side of you. So the race is most likely going to come from, the attacks are most likely going to go in the front. There's Ollie winding up. Let's go, Bosch. Oh, there's a you see what he did there? Do you see what he did there? He false attack. So he wound it up, looked like he was going to attack, and then decided to sit up when everyone jumped. And all right, so this is the finishing straight. We're about 400-500 meters to go for one lap, and again, it was an attack. But anyway, it comes back together. This is again is the front of the bunch. We're on lap number 2 right now. We've done 13 minutes, as you can see in the bottom left-hand corner. And again, it's just more of the same. Lined out down the left-hand side, there's a little bit of a move. So I jump on Ollie's wheel. And this is the point where I'm starting to think like, oh, I'm starting to pay for those earlier efforts. I still feel all right. Like I'm still sat at the front of the bunch, but I'm starting to pay for those earlier efforts, and I'm just noticing. You can probably tell down the left-hand side, like I'll pedal, then I'll stop pedaling, then I'll pedal, then I'll stop pedal, and that's like a classic sign of my legs are starting to pack in a little bit. And this is just because I've not got the top end. Like I should be fine here. 13 minutes into a race, yes, it's hard, but there's also sufficient amount of recovery. But just with how I'm feeling at the minute, I'm having to be a lot more careful about where I put my effort down and how I measure my effort. Like again, I should have just jumped that gap. Like that was such a little gap to jump, and as a consequence, I'm having to burn more matches later on right now in order to go even harder to bring myself up to speed to that front group with Willing. There's also a group in front of those now, so we've got to go straight through. And that's what we're doing right now. As you can see, I just slot in with these green riders. They don't want to let the race go ahead of them. Again, look at that. I should have just jumped with him. What am I doing, guys? What am I doing? Like when you're in the time in the race, you don't really realize you're making such stupid mistakes. You don't really realize you're doing it. All you're thinking about is how your legs are feeling and how's best to preserve your energy and your effort. But yeah, that was now it's time to go. Everyone else starts attacking, and I managed to slot in the wheels. This is the little uphill section again, through the roundabout, up the little climb. So it's lined out. How many watts we're doing? Over 1,000. We peaked over 1,000 watts there. So this is like as hard as you go. It doesn't really get much harder than that. If I'm going to be honest, peaking at over 1,000 watts. And I think this all comes, I think all this comes back together. But again, it's like these little gaps and these little openings, which, yeah, when everyone's fresh right now, 15 minutes in, you can easily, not easily, but they come back. Like these little breaks come back, these groups come back. But if that had happened an hour into the race, that would have gone. So as you can see, someone decides to shut the gap here. I jump onto Will's wheel. Oh, does it come back? Yeah, I think it comes back. But I'm on Will's wheel right now, and as you can see, you know, we're going hard. We're doing 400 or 500 watts, but 18 minutes. This is we're coming around for 2 laps right now, and we're at the back of the bunch. So as you can see, there's a group up there ahead of us. There is a group up there ahead which contains Ollie, and this comes back together, but I don't get back in the bunch. And here you're gonna see why right now. I cornered so badly right then, and I just missed Will's wheels. I had to do a bit more of an effort to get back on. But look, Will's trying to get everyone organised to get this chase going. You can just about see the bunch up ahead. But this is where I make a fundamental F up. And it's also a testament to how I'm feeling at the minute. So, look, those 4 guys are gone like that. Those 4 guys had jumped, and instead of jumping straight away, I did what I've been doing all race. I waited for the last man to come through. In this case, it's a Novo Nordisk guy, and I got on his wheel. And I sort of had my head down. I was just like focusing on breathing. You can see my heart rate's there at 192. I'm just focusing on my effort. And I look up and think, shh, I'm not going to swear, but I thought, oh damn, those guys have gone, and that ain't coming back, because they were chasing full gas to catch the front group, which was Ollie's group. And that was it. The Novo Nordisk guy couldn't bring that move back, as could I. So as soon as that jump what I should have done is, as soon as Will had come through, or as soon as the other guys had come through, I should have just jumped on them, and I would have been fine. But again, I didn't, because of how I'm feeling, and I didn't because you can see there, guys, I'm at the limit. I'm at 190 RPM. So all right, more of the same today. I mean, actually, I felt better today. I did feel better, and I lasted another 15 minutes longer. I did 45 minutes today as opposed to 30 minutes yesterday. Found myself in a couple of moves early on, and I felt, I didn't feel good, but I certainly felt better than how I felt yesterday. But once that move came back and all the counters started kicking off and stuff, I was on the back foot then. And basically, as the guys came through, I needed to jump onto the wheels to get myself back into the group, and I just didn't have that like jump in me. And yeah, that was it. Another day of rolling around at the back, and another day of getting spat. For the 45 minutes I did do, however, I had a normalized power of 321. But the thing is, like, my heart rate was so high, man. Like, my average heart rate 176, and my max was 195. Like, 176 average for that kind of effort is that's so high. Like, it's so much higher than it would normally be in the racing season. So yeah, man, I'm just trying. At the minute, I'm just finding my legs, finding my feet, and hopefully by the end of this trip we'll get around one of these races. But yeah, right now we've got about 4 or 5 laps to go of the 7k circuit. Will has also stopped. He also got pulled out from one of the back groups. I mean, he was still ahead of me, but yeah, basically all we've got left is Ollie in the second group. We've got a group of 8, and then Ollie's in like a chase group of 4, and they're actually starting to catch the front group, so we'll see how they get on. All right, Ollie's about to come back through, and I'm about to see if he wants to take a bottle. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, you just learned how to not pass the bottle. Sorry, Ollie. This is the front group. This green team has kind of got the most riders. There's like, what, 5 or 6 of them in that 8-man group? And then Ollie's behind somewhere. This is the leaders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right, 10 guys in that group. Ollie is away with one other guy, and this is the last lap. I think they're racing for like a top 10, top 12. Go on, mate, last lap. Get it done! Here comes Ollie. This is for 13th. This is for 13th place. Go on, boy. Easy. Go on, sunshine! Not bad. 13th place for Ollie. And the first top 15 of the trip. Things are looking up slightly.